Okay, guys, I think I am live. Honestly, I don't know. I am going to do a Zentangle. I am live. I just saw it. All right. Okay, so I've got to finish up on one that I started, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do on that flower balloon one. So let me um, go to the other camera, and this is just an impromptu. So what I've got here, let me do this one. Okay. So what I've got here is, and I do have it upside down if the camera's not wrong. This is one I started a while back, and I thought, I need to add some more to it, and it got scratched. So I thought I would definitely come in and add a little bit more to it. So I thought I'd show you what I was doing. So what I've got is the De-Zigner product in my quill pen. This is DZ252, and I did this on one of the Zentangle designer lives that I did a while back. So I want to add something up here to the top because it's empty. Okay. So let me get rid of this wording here real quick. See if I can do this all by myself. 1 second. And I am going to hide that. Okay. We are good. All right. So I've got our quill pen that we sell. It comes with two different size nibs to it. This is the 512. And for anybody that doesn't know, this is Paula McCoy, owner of Colors for Earth. And what I've done is take the De-Zigner powders and I've mixed them with the glass medium. Okay. Let me get a bottle that has a better writing on it. Okay. So that you can see that. All right. And I've just mixed it kind of to an inky consistency. And what I'm going to do is just start adding some doodling at the top. Okay. Not that it has to be anything fancy, but I'm just going to kind of start out. And when you start, and I probably should have wiped that off a little better. When you start with the pen, you definitely need to press down, fan out. It has like teeth at the end of it. So when you press down, you need to kind of open those up and let it get started. And then you can keep going. So I'm just going to add some doodling up here at the top, and then I'm going to go to that balloon one, but I thought, well, I'll just do this while I'm at it, and hopefully I can get both of them in the kiln at the same time. Okay, so I'm just creating lines, not really trying to do anything in particular, and I am by myself doing this, so if you're commenting, I won't be able to see all those and answer right away. But I will go back after I end and I will answer your questions, okay? That way I can keep going here. I'm hoping that everybody can hear me okay. If not, definitely put that in the comments. And I'll try to look up every now and then and see those, okay? It's hard to do when you're by yourself. So this is our De-Zigner product, thinned and mixed with the GM300. And I'm putting them in these little, what I call my ink jars. They're just a shallow little jar. You can see that on the side camera there. So I'm kind of testing different views in the cameras. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to come on just to make sure all this was going to work too. Okay. So you can pretty much do whatever you want with your pen. And like I said, I'm just adding some little corner motif. I could even add some brush strokes, and I'm constantly loading the pen. You don't get very far, and you'll need to add more to your pen. And make sure that there's a little, let me wipe it off, there's a little like an oval shape here at the top. And you got to make sure that your ink or your product, I'm calling it ink because it's thin to an inky consistency. It's at least 50-50, if not one part color to 2 parts of the medium. Okay, so definitely have it thin enough. You don't want it dripping off, so I keep going back over there. And okay, I think all the cameras are working. Okay, I was just double checking. All right, so sometimes you got to go slow, which is hard for me. I want to get it done and get it over with. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can definitely put them in the chat, and then I'll go back and answer those afterwards. Okay, I just thought I'd show you this while I was doing it, and you might be able to pick up some little tips and tricks for yourself and see how you can add to anything. And I'm noticing, and I did not wipe this corner off, so I'm going to try to kind of wipe it there. I just, you know me, I just jump in and do it. Go with the flow. So I hope you guys are having a good weekend. Today is Saturday the 13th of March, and my husband and I got our COVID vaccine shots today, the first one. So that's exciting. That's the first time he's been around a group of people more than about 6 since this all started a year ago. Okay, so, you could just create a line and then come back and fill it in with, and this is just, I'm just doodling, okay? I could make circles, and I could have different size circles. So that's another way you can do it. I mean, there's all different types of patterns you can find. You probably have those coloring books, the adult coloring books that have a lot of different Zentangle type things in them. So just look at those and get some ideas. And your design may depend on what your subject is. Okay. You can see over here, I've done some scallops, just some regular lines. So a little bit of everything. Okay. So I'm going to quit on this one in just a second as soon as I fill this in. If you wanted to go around behind these circles, you could come in there and fill it in solid. I'm going to add some half ones up here at the top. Okay, so if I wanted to, I could come in here and I could just take the tip of the pen and fill in. The other good way to do a solid application would be one of the dotting tools. This is the smaller of them. So I just loaded it with some of the color and I'm just putting it down. And because I've created the barrier of the circles, it will flow. And when it touches that line, it stops, which is kind of nice. Now, if you had too much or too big of a dotting tool, it could flow over into, I'm trying to find a big area because I've got quite a bit on there, into your circle. It could start weeping inside of there. So just a little bit at a time is better. So I'm really not flooding. I'm just kind of dropping a drop of color there. And what's happening is it's just, I'm pushing it around and it gives you, and I've got it on a white background, just a paper towel, so you can see that it is somewhat solid when you're doing it. So you need to make sure you can tell, unless you just want it very translucent. So see, one dot of color goes a long way. Okay, I tried to work, let me look up here, Judy Johnson, I tried to work some work doing the dotting tools. They are very helpful for me. Great, Judy, that's awesome. Hey, Miss Isabel, how are you? She is from Colombia. She is from a long ways away. She is a beautiful artist. If you haven't seen Isabel's work, you need to follow her. She is an awesome artist. Okay. And I just do a little bit of everything. We've got the glass products. Tuesday night, I'll be doing ceramic products. So you can keep going and filling in and you get the idea. So let me turn it around. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to try to fire this tonight. I'm going to put it on a white background, me and white. Also, it depends on our weather. We may be getting some storms tonight, so I may not be doing any firing at all. We've got some really bad winds right now, and I'm surprised I actually went on live and showed you myself because the wind has blown me to pieces today. All right, so let me move that, and let me show you and I smeared this a little bit, show you what I've got here. So what I did was I took one of the Statler Tri-Plus fine liners. Okay, let me move that up to the camera so you can see that. Okay, I think you can there. Okay, this is just a watercolor marker. And I started thinking, okay, what did I want to do with this flower that we did the balloon and the enamels with the other day? So this is kind of what I came up with that I thought I wanted to do. So, and I just drew it on here, you know, whatever I wanted. So what I'm going to do now is wipe this clean. You can see the design, and I took a picture of it on my phone so that I could remember what I wanted to do. And sometimes that doesn't mean I'm going to do it. I just kind of go with it. So I'm just going to wipe this off. It's just a watercolor marker. Now it would probably fire away, but I don't want to take any chance. But I know it will fire away. Okay, I said that wrong. It will fire away. So if you're unsure, you could do that because this is full fuse to another piece that we did the other day. So this was clear. I kind of smeared some white enamel on with the Sumi brush, and then I poured the vermilion and yeah, coral, new coral is what I used. And then I did the balloon and I added some yellow in the middle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the white De-Zigner. Once again, I've mixed it in my little ink jar. Okay, I'm going to try to get this close enough that you can see that really well. Okay, if you like that side camera being nice and big like that, let me know in the chat. Okay, like I said, I'll go back later and answer any questions. You're getting some kind of feedback. Is that what you're saying? In the audio, I am getting some echo. You know what? You know what I didn't do? I did not connect my Ethernet cord to my router. So that may be why. Sorry about that, guys. It's a free one. What can you tell? You know, it's free and you can see what I'm doing. So I apologize for the feedback. All right, so I've got the white De-Zigner. I'm going to load it. I wasn't thinking. I was thinking I needed to do this, and I forgot to connect my Ethernet cord. So we're testing that new $400 router, which evidently it's not doing its job, or it could just be the weather also. Okay, so I'm just going to start near the center, open that up, and let it start flowing. And I'm okay if I get some thick and thin areas. I'm perfectly fine with that. And I'm doing this with white because I want to show you what white on white does for a design. I think it'll be very cool. If we don't like it, guess what we can do? Wipe it off, which is pretty nice because sometimes I change my mind quite a few times. So I'm just going to come up above that line and connect it again. And then I'm going to just draw in some lines. Now here again, you could put any kind of pattern here. It could be diamonds, it could be squares, it could be the circles, whatever fits your fancy. Okay. Hopefully that feedback gets a little bit better. I'm hoping. I'll have to look up here. Shelley Long. Hi there. How much snow are you getting in Denver? They're going to get a big storm. It's coming in. Maybe both cameras are picking up the audio. No, actually, it's not. I have... Hold on one second. Let me double check something. I've got all the mics off except for one, Shelley. I think it's because I didn't attach my Ethernet cord. I wasn't thinking. I was just thinking, oh, I'm going to come on and doodle with you guys. And just forgot to do it. And my husband is not. I don't want to scream at him to do that. So you get to just watch me. Okay. So if you go outside where you want to, like I did here, I can just take a Q-tip and just kind of push it back. And these are those makeup Q-tips that have the nice pointed end. They're pretty cool. All right. So the other thing I'm going to do on here is from the center, I had those stamens and then just kind of loop around. So make these different. heights, different sizes. And Shelly, do me a favor and check and see if this is live on YouTube, also on my channel, if you don't mind, or anybody. I've got it scheduled for the Tuesday one to go live for both of them, but I don't know whether it did this one or not. So we're testing that technology. Now you could go back in here and you could fill in those if you wanted. You could add, you know, other dots, but isn't that cool? I think that's kind of lacy and fancy. Now this one's got a little bit of a fold in here. So what I'm going to do to this guy is come inside and make it look like this part of the petal is actually folded over. So you kind of have to just run with your design. Okay. Donna Murray, I could watch you. Well, I could be on camera all the time if I didn't have other things to do, but unfortunately. But I understand what you mean. There's certain people that I can do the same. I can watch them all day long. You kind of just get mesmerized by it. So what I'm going to do now is just pull in those lines on that turn back. So it's like it's the petal folded over. And you don't have to go straight with those lines. You could curve them if you wanted. I'm not going to on this one because I've already started in this direction. But on another one, I could do that. Okay. So, hey, Miss Margie. She is on YouTube watching. Okay, thanks. This new system allows me to see where you're commenting from, which is very cool. I should have made Mr. Burt come back here and monitor questions and stuff. But like I said, impromptu. I told you I would, some of you, I told you I would when you'd seen these pieces that I posted the other day after they were fired. So then now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to add that little stamen. So the nice thing is you can just wipe it off if you don't like it. Okay. But I just wanted to show you some fun, cool ideas that you could do with this. And you can see I load constantly. You can't just run with, you know, multiple lines. Now, I can tell you that this is mixed with the GM300. If you were mixed with clove oil, with the silkscreen white or black, or this with the clove oil, either one, it does tend to flow and you can get further down. You can do more design before you have to load, just because that oil is a great carrier. I just didn't want to smell that today. But you can use different types of oils also. Hey, Larry Knight. Evening, Paula. Writing paperwork for classes and watching you as well. Well, thank you. Thanks for joining me. I like to hear that you're writing for classes. That means a good thing. All right, so I'm going to come out here and I'm going to outline this one again. I'm just going with the shape of what I created with the enamels and the balloon the other night. So now I can come back here and I can add some of those on the outside. And there's so many different ways you can do this, guys. So don't think that my way is the only way. I'm sure you guys are very creative and you can come up with things. I know Mr. Larry Knight is creative because I saw what he did in one of my classes. So your imagination is your limitation. What are you thinking about that large side camera? I kind of like that really well. Let me see if I can move in a little closer on that one too. Okay, so did the sound get any better? Somebody tell me. Hey, Ginger. Bert is not with me tonight. He is in the other room. We got our COVID first shots today, so he is chilling. And I may be doing the same thing. I just wanted to get this done, so if I could get it in the kiln. Sometimes I don't have patience to wait. I want it done now. And I've got those jewelry pieces. Weren't those cool that I posted? Did you guys see that? I'm going to try something. Hold on one second. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Do you guys remember these pieces that I posted? So those are going to go in the kiln tonight also, whenever I put this in, providing I can. Okay, so those are kind of cool. Those were just the scrap pours, or yeah, pours that I did a couple of weeks ago that I let fall off onto another piece of glass, and I didn't want to waste the product, so I just fired it at 1380, held it for 10 minutes, and I came back and cut it up. Now, something I do want to tell you is when you are cutting any of the glass that you have enamels on, flip it over and cut from the back side. Flip it over and cut from the back side. It's very brittle on the front side where the enamel is. So just a little trick, okay? So definitely turn it over to cut if you're doing that single layer. That seems to work the best for me. Now you may find it works just fine for you. Okay, so let's add another one here. Okay, so now I know that I am on YouTube and Facebook, so at least I know that's going to work on Tuesday night. Nothing like trying it on a weekend. I will tell him hi, Ginger. I'm trying to read comments and do everything myself. You said it's echoing again, but it's not horrible, Judy. Okay, well, hopefully it'll go away. I apologize. If you're just joining me, I did forget to connect my Ethernet cable to my router, so we could have some of that feedback and different issues going on. I won't forget that again. I can tell you that. Okay, so just keep going and create, and don't worry about dragging. The tip is touching the glass, of course, because you have to get the colors started. And don't worry about dragging it along the glass and scratching or anything. It's going to heal in the kiln, okay? You do not have to worry about that at all. Because you sometimes, I'm sure you can hear that scratching. And let's do a small one here. And I'm turning my work so it's easy for me to pull my strokes towards me. So this kind of gives it, it almost makes it look like it's lace. All right, so I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to pull up and do a little loop. So you're doing like a little teardrop. Be sure and go on both sides would be my recommendation. You know, have some going one way and some going another so they're not identical. Someone once told me that I was doing a rooster in a class, and I won't say who it's with, many years ago. I'm talking 15 or 20 years ago. And they said, Paula, you have a hairdresser in your barnyard because every feather was exactly spaced apart. Well, needless to say, I got over that one real fast. But it was kind of funny at the time. But he's a pretty rooster. I still have him. Not that you guys really wanted to know that. Okay, so I'm just using those makeup pointed Q-tips. And this one may be a little bit smaller than some of those. I'm not sure where I got this, but they're great for cleanup, okay? And I'm constantly dipping those little ink jars. We sell them by the single or a 6-pack. And they're not real expensive, but they're great for your CCs if you're going to do even stamping. You can get the little round pouncer sponges inside. You can load it and then pounce it out. But they're great for the CCs to do this technique. If you only have CCs, you could do the same thing. The CCs would be thinned with water because they are already liquid. This is the De-Zigners that I'm using right now, the DZs. They are a non-enamel. So who can tell me what I need to do, Ginger? After I finish this and it dries, what should I do to these whenever I get ready to fire them? Does anybody know the answer to that? You accidentally found me. Well, I'm glad you found me. Do I use water? Yes, Donna. I just swish it around in my water bowl and it's clean. Dry it off. You're good to go. Good question. But isn't this a cool way? Look at that. It doesn't even look like the same piece already. Awesome. And I'll keep trying to. Anybody tell me what I need to do to this piece before I fire it? If you have the correct answer, guess what? I will give you one of those jewelry pieces when I get them fired. Sprinkle with clear powder. Donna, you're on it. Absolutely. We're going to sift with clear powdered frit over the top of this. Okay? Sift with clear powdered frit over the top because of the fact that this is a non-enamel. So we need to make sure that we have the frit over it. Otherwise, it will wipe off after the firing because there's nothing holding it once the binder, and the binder is the GM300, the glass medium. Okay, so once that burns off, there's nothing holding it on. So we have to cap it with sifting clear powdered frit over the top. Okay. All right, Donna, don't you let me forget that. Okay. Since I'm by myself, I'm not going to take time to stop and write it right now. Okay. All right, Ginger, thanks for reiterating that. Yes, cap it with sifted clear powdered frit. So see the difference? You can come out over the back, or I'm coming inside and just giving it like a fold. So hopefully this gives you some ideas. I didn't want to take up a whole nother, Tuesday night. I didn't really want to wait 2 weeks to do it because I was excited about this, and I told you that I thought I was going to do this. So that's why I came on live today to show you. All right, so I'm going to load it up, and I'm going to do the center. Aren't those cool little loops? So I hope you all are having a great Saturday. I saw that some of you had started doing some balloon things. You've posted some things. So definitely post, tag me so I can see what you're doing. I'd love to see you use the things that I put out here. That tells me that you want more. And I also need to know what you would like. Is there a subject you want to go over, or is there a technique that you want to see? As long as it's not a paid technique from somebody, if there's something you want to see, let me know, and we'll try to get it in on a live. So now I'm just going to go back, and I call this, and I'm going to kind of watch my color design in the middle and maybe accent and go around some of that. I call this Cornelia lace. It's the cake decorators do this type of little design. I said I was going to go around the design, but I start going and then sometimes I forget. So just go in all different directions. Okay. But it's one connected line. See how I'm constantly going in different directions? Now you could also, you could have done this before, but you could sprinkle different colored frit, and create design with that on top of it. So this is just another, your balloon technique or your pours is just another background that you can add to so many different pieces. But I thought those jewelry pieces were really cool. I just hate to waste anything. And I think what I'll do, I was going to maybe do a brush stroke thing around the edge. Okay, so what do you think of that? Pretty cool? Get that on both cameras, maybe. And I need to go that way. There we go. Okay. It's all new to me, Debbie says. I'm watching everything. Okay, awesome. And I have lots of other YouTubes out there that have, and other lives. I think I need 2 of them I need to put on YouTube, but this gives you some ideas. So this is our De-Zigner product that I'm using. This is the DZ202, the white. Now, if I wanted to and be real dramatic, I could come out to the outside and put black on there. What do you think about that? You guys tell me. You want to see black out here, or should I just keep going with white? You guys talk to me and tell me what you think, okay? Let me scroll back through here and see. Hey, Rosemary, can you use the quill pens with the CCs? and the CSs on the ceramic ware. Okay, so Rosemary is asking, because she's a ceramist, can you can use the quill pen with CCs. You cannot use them on the bisque, okay, because it would just tear the out of your tip of your pen, okay. Um, Now that isn't to say that you couldn't put it on top of a glaze. Okay, so have your piece already glazed. Use your CCs. I wouldn't use CSs; those are too thick. And then you may have to apply. Try and fire it and see what happens. It may go into the glaze, or you may have to come back and put another coat or a thin, like sponge coat on it. Would be my thought. Okay. All right. So what do you want to do? Black or white, guys? Small amount of black. Oh, Donna, if I'm going to do black, I'm going big. Anything. Okay. All right. I'm going to rinse this quill. So I just swished it in my water bowl over there off to the side. And let me, I could use, I wonder if that turquoise color would be pretty on there. What do you think? Nah. Clashes with the peach color. I already have the black mixed up. So I think, let me give it a stir. And let's see what I can come up with. And I'm doing this on the fly, guys. I have no idea. Now I have to watch because my edge, it'll be harder to keep off of that edge. So I'm making sure that I get the product up around that little, let me wipe it off, and that little oval that's at the top. Okay, in your pen. So right here, you want to make sure your product is up into that area because that kind of acts as the little well and keeps it flowing. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to do the same doodling that I did there out here. If I don't like it, you know what? I can take it off, right? So here we go. All right, guys. So it's one continuous line. Don't be afraid of it. Look how nice that's going. I'm getting a lot out of that. I think I'll leave the white edge to it. I have, this was on clear, and then I put a white back behind it. So this will just make it look like little lace around the outer edge. See how I'm just going back and forth in different directions, but it's just one continuous line, which is kind of cool. I'm going to turn this. What do you think? Do you like that? Be sure and let me know. And then once I get done, then I'm going to sift with clear powdered frit. And then I will also have to slump it into a bowl, like a little dish. So don't get to going in one direction and forget to go back and, fill in those areas. Constantly turn so that it's easy to work with and you're not working against yourself. I may not give this one away. I like this. Or I just may keep it for a little while and then do it as one of the live giveaways. It's hard for me to talk at the same time. Okay, so Jeannie Bell says she likes the black. And Donna says, okay, yeah, it does. It kind of makes it pop, Donna, and lift it out of the design. So sometimes you just got to try it and see what happens. If I didn't like it, I could come back and take the Q-tip and get rid of most of it, but we're going with it. I like it. So think about that. I know the other day some people had tried some of the pours and some of the balloons and techniques, and what they were having trouble with, you got to think about where you're going in the end. So don't put too dark of a color in your balloons or your enamel pours. So here's this one, and you can see it underneath, of course, all my lights. So I only used a little bit of the dark color, so most of it is a lighter color, but I did come back and I backed this with a blue, okay? And this one was on a clear also. I thought about doing a white design on that one. I thought that would be really cool. Um, let me show you this one kind of live and up close so you can see it. This is the one that we did the balloon, and then I tilted it and let it run and move. So it simulated more of the pour than the balloon technique. This one here had all that silver. Can you see all that silver? I probably should have done this as a single sheet and cut it up for jewelry, but I could, it's okay. You guys wanted me to show you something and I did it. So, and then here's that other one that I did. And then I just took a tool and pulled out to kind of create that spider web type look to it. And that was on a clear, and I backed it with the white, so it gives it a little depth. I couldn't find a colored, I don't have a lot of colored glass because I use our paints for color. So most of mine is white and clear. So this one just had a lavender, so that was kind of cool, the yellow and purple. Try to have white in your design. That's usually a good thing when you do your balloon or your pours. Adding a lighter color, whether it be white or whether it was like ivory or rosewater pink, if it's in the pink range of colors, the yellow, you know, the softest yellow, which would be 22 lemon peel. So keep that in mind and think about what you're going to do on top of it. You know, I just told you guys when I did this one, I was going to do a flower. So that way I wasn't limited to what I could do with it. But I didn't want to keep, you know, pushing my balloon down. I wanted a definition of the petals when I did it. So how's the audio? Is it still messing up? Do I need to? You guys may not stay on here. Like I said, I'll just keep doing this till you guys get tired of me. Hey, Sharon. Finally caught. Well, this is an impromptu live. I just am demonstrating, Sharon, what I started the other night with the balloon technique. And I just thought I'd come on and show you how I end up. A lot of people are like, how do you come up with your designs? Actually, you know what? I didn't put it on Facebook, but yesterday, my granddaughter, Abigail, asked me to, they had career day at school. And she said, Grandma, will you do a live career day for me and tell people what you do? And let me tell you, those kids had the best questions. And one of theirs was, how do you come up with your designs? And I just let it talk to me. You know, you look and see what the color of the year is. You know, Pinterest is a great place for different, and look what I did. I trapped myself. I'm going to go over because I'm talking at the same time instead of thinking. Yeah, that just really sets off that flower. Anyway, Pinterest, there's all different types of places to get inspiration from. Coloring books, photographs. And like I said, your imagination is your limitation. And hopefully I inspire you to get out of your box and try some of these other techniques, add it to your work, you know, take it to another level. And I'm just doing bare, basic, simple things. I'm trying not to get too out there. I mean, there's other paid tutorials for those type of things. All right, so you like the black on there? I do. I'm very pleased with it, as long as I don't stick my finger in it. Audio seems better. Okay, good. It's probably because the wind quit blowing for a minute. It was awful. I didn't even think about all of that, the weather. Probably not a good idea to go live with storms coming in. All right, so Tuesday night will be ceramics. Those of you that want to join me, we're just going to talk a little bit about the products, and I may do a project. I haven't decided yet. I kind of am a person that I go on the fly, just whatever. If you have questions for me about ceramic wise, definitely email me at either ceramicsbypaula@gmail.com, or you can go to the Colors for Earth website, www.colorsforearth.com, and at the top there's a contact button, and you can email me from there, info@colorsforearth.com. Okay. And any of my YouTube videos that are out there, you can ask questions on those. You can comment, and then I will answer you if you have a question. Okay. And you know what I was doing? I was holding this glass, and I probably need to wipe my fingerprints off of it. I can see it kind of beading up just a little bit there. Well, I hope you like this, and like I said, hopefully you can put it into your work. It would be great on jewelry pieces. Make you a whole part sheet, as we call them, with just, white glass. Do your different colors. Fire that to 1380 with a 10-minute hold. Make it a little bit bigger than you want it, so you can cut off any of the edges that might have a little bit of a roll to it, and use it in jewelry. How fun is that? Or, you can sift over the top. You should still be able to go to the 1380. I've done that quite a bit. And then cut it up and make jewelry pieces. You could use this as, in with like a mosaic type of a look. All right, guys, I'm almost done. Now, guess what I need to do? I need to put my name on here, because sometimes I forget to do that. So watch this. I'm going to just start here and do my name. That way it's in the background. And I'm just going to loop around and connect. And that way it'll be kind of hidden in there. Touch over there. And done. What do you think? Pretty cool. Hey, Nancy. The black really makes the flower stand out. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Robin. Almost missed you. I know. You got to. It's dinner time where you're at. All right, guys. That was kind of my thing that I wanted to show you. Let me switch back to my other camera real quick. I don't look very good because I've been outside walking the dog and it's windy outside. So anyway, you can see that. Hopefully it inspires you. And thanks, Debbie. Gives you some ideas. I look forward to seeing what you can come up with. Okay. And the pens, we sell the pens on the website. We sell, of course, all the products. And then these are called ink jars, the little jars that I was using. Okay. There's 6 in a pack, or there is 1 single, but it's cheaper to buy the 6. And then you can put your products in there. They're very shallow, and they're great for the pen to dip into. It's shallow and easy to use. So, and you could do the same type of design that I did, the Zentangly Cornelia lace on the background. You can do that with a liner brush in your acrylics, in your canvases, your wood, whatever. It's going to take more time. It is very intricate, but I have done it. Okay. So anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys Tuesday night for ceramics. Okay. Take care. Have a good rest of your weekend.